structure more public, and I'll also be helping out with a few of the programs that we're running with the community. But that's enough about me. Let's jump in. So obviously, welcome. Community call number 2. We've simplified the process, so this time we're just live on YouTube. In case you missed the last community call, that's up on YouTube as well, and obviously this one's being recorded, so it'll be up on the YouTube channel after this event. So subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with any content we release, and keep up to date and watch back the community calls if you have to leave early. So as you'll have seen over the last week, 2 weeks, we've launched 2 really exciting products. We've got the Vocdoni app and we've got Aragon Voice. So Aragon Voice is our new gasless and universally verifiable voting solution. So you'll have seen there's already some proposals up there for ERC20 tokens. And the Vocdoni app is for all organizations to simplify governance. I know we've got a lot of organizations that are already on there. If you know any charities, NGOs, businesses, organizations that are trying to run their AGMs, jump over there, have a look. Brilliant product, and it's going to be really useful for everyone. Agenda for the evening. So you've got me giving you a quick welcome. We're then going to present to you the new gasless DAO management system on Discord. So we're going to be bringing voting to the heart of a lot of DAOs, which is obviously Discord with emoji voting. So that's been built by the Witnet Foundation. And if you don't know Witnet, they are a decentralized Oracle network connecting smart contracts to the real world in a trustless way. Next up, we're going to have Aragon Court's escrow solution, which is being built by the team at Greet. Greet are a single cross-chain gateway to DApps, DAOs, NFTs, and cryptocurrencies. So that's going to be a really exciting product, and I'll let Vyacheslav tell you all about that. Then I'm going to give you a quick update on the Gitcoin grants program. I won't go into too much detail because we'll have lots more about that going forwards. And then a few announcements and then some closing remarks. We should be wrapped up by around 7 o'clock. Here are our speakers. So we've got Adam, co-founder of Witnet, Vyacheslav, co-founder of Greet, and you've got me, obviously. So as we're going along, 2 options for your Q&A. We'll try and get through as many questions as possible during the presentations. If we don't manage to get through everything, don't worry, we'll go back, answer them, and add them into the Discord channel. So if there's any questions you have, even after the event, if you want to jump over to the events channel on Discord and put them in there. So you can ask either on YouTube live chat or in Discord. We have the team behind monitoring the questions, and we'll try and get through as many as possible. But obviously, if we don't manage, don't worry, we'll come back to you. So without further ado, I'll welcome up Adam, the co-founder of Witnet, who is going to give us a demo of the new gasless DAO management system on Discord. Adam, can you hear me? Stop sharing my screen.
Yes, I can.
Excellent, and I'll let you share your screen, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alexander. Thanks for having me and for having Witnet present this interesting integration. We think the point of this integration is, as you said, to enable online communities to discuss and vote on proposals and do the things that Aragon are trying to enable people to do. And exactly in the place where they already discuss, where they gather, where they live, where they thrive, which is Discord nowadays. There are obviously other more decentralized platforms for discussion and so on, and the Aragon Voice product itself, it's a great way for running votings on proposals and so on. But this integration tries to expand or complete the Aragon offer of different tools for voting, specifically trying to make it super easy for onboarding users and communities who are not used to making transactions on Ethereum, or they are not used to all these tools. This is, let's say, like a ramp in into the DAO world. So the integration is actually a Discord bot, and this bot enables creating proposals on and voting on them or against them using emoji reactions on any Discord channel. And then the result of the voting is executed on Ethereum. This is possible thanks to Aragon Govern and how it uses the ERC 3000 standard. So that's this is the integration itself is actually a pretty convenient interface to the Aragon Govern set of contracts. Just as the recently launched Aragon Voice also builds on Govern and acts as an interface, right? And it's also possible on the other side thanks to the Winnet decentralized Oracle network, which is used for querying the the Discord API and reading the result of the votes, the result of the proposals, and posting that into the Aragon Govern set of contracts. So I want to thank everyone in both teams and in Winnet and Aragon, for everyone who participated on this. And this is right now a proof of concept, let's say, and it's running on the Rinkebyte version of Aragon. But we want to await interest from different communities that are using Aragon and who want to give it a try, and hopefully deploy this on mainnet as well very soon. So let's see this little demo. The first thing that we need to do to use the bot is obviously inviting the bot to your Discord server. So there's an invite link that you can find on the Aragon blog and also on the Winnet blog, and I think we are posting also on the YouTube chat. And I will show what you get is something like this. So I will invite the Aragon Govern bot to the Winnet community, for example, and it needs permission for reading the messages that are posted there. Okay, I will authorize. Okay, and now let's go to Discord itself. Let me share that window. It's this one. Okay. So once the bot is in your server, you can see it here on the right side. You can what you need to do normally. You can use it in the general channel, for example, but normally you would create a specific channel for proposals and then configure the channel so that only the people that you want to be allowed to vote on the proposals can join that channel, right? So the first thing that we need to do is to set up the integration, because the bot needs to know what will be the Aragon DAO that will be connected with this Discord server. So we can use the setup command. We can do setup, and I will be using a DAO that I created 1 hour ago called Aragon Community. And then you need to say who will be allowed to create proposals. So in this case, I'm allowing everyone for demo purposes, let's say. And there we go. Now the integration is configured, and it gives you examples and instructions on how to make proposals itself. The bot itself, if you fail to enter some command, it always offers help. For example, if I do setup without any argument, it helps. Or if I try to set up some DAO that doesn't exist, it will tell you that it doesn't exist. So once it's set up, then we can directly go and make a proposal. And the proposals follow this format. As you can see, you need to set a deadline for the voting. What's the later date in which votes will be accepted? Then a subject, let's say, like a message, a description of what's being voted, and then the action. The action itself is it can be either Ether transfer or a contract interaction, which can be itself the transfer of some ERC20 token. And in this case, for example, we can say grant 1 ETH to this awesome project, whatever. We would put here the address that we want to send that 1 ETH to, and the value would be 1, right? That's the proposal. There you go. And now everyone who has access to this channel can vote. And to vote, we can simply send a reaction, and you can see that I have reacted with thumbs up. So right now the integration is in its simplest form. Oh, there was an additional vote. Nice. In its simplest form, it's the voting will pass. The proposal will be passed if there are more yes than no votes. And in this case, as the proposals need to run for at least 4 hours, we cannot see the result, but we can see the result of a former proposal. If we look at this other demo for a couple of days, when the time for voting the proposals is over, there's a request being sent to the WeNet decentralized oracle, and the nodes in WeNet will retrieve the result of the proposal from the Discord API, and that result, whether the proposal was passed or not, is reported to the Aragon Govern contracts. And then depending on each specific DAO, each DAO has its own delay for the execution and their own period for having disputes, for doing challenges, for challenging the result. And once the proposal is complete, and if there hasn't been any challenges, the bot tries to execute the proposal and run the action. So we can use this, for example, for having a DAO that has some common treasury on it, and having all the members or whoever in the community we want to give some particular voting rights by using roles on Discord, vote on how to deploy that treasury. So it's a very simple, very accessible way to arrange payments and to in a cooperative way for a community to make transactions from the DAO. That's pretty much it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Adam. It's a really interesting tool, and obviously, any questions from anyone in the community, if you want to put them up in events or on YouTube, we'll try and get through them. I know we've got a couple already. So, Alan, you touched briefly on a couple of the use cases there. Do you want to go into just a tiny bit more? We've had a few sort of questions around what's the sort of use cases around it, around this tool. If you want to go into a bit more detail on
that. We can imagine, things like that, like giving grants, like approving grants, like managing the treasury, maybe changing some when ETH is going down, maybe changing some part of it to some stable coin, or buying a piece of land on Decentraland, like having real estate for the DAO. And I don't know. There are probably many use cases that we haven't even thought of. So we are trying to show these to Aragon users who already have their own Discord server, which is pretty much all of them, and gather some feedback on whether and how can we improve this for them.
Perfect. Excellent. Question around, so I know a lot of voting tools, once you make your vote, it's fixed. Can you change your vote during the voting period? Obviously not afterwards, but during the voting period, using emojis like Discord, you can change your reactions. Is that possible?
Indeed, you can. During the period of the proposal, during the before the deadline, you can at any time change your votes, and the votes are public because that's, let's say, the standard way to do things on Discord. And what you get as the fixed picture of the voting is the what the result is exactly at the deadline, at the date that you set, and the deadline. That's when the data request is sent to Witnet, and then that's when Witnet, let's say, notarizes the result that the Discord API is giving you.
Brilliant, excellent. I know there was a quick question on what are the differences between Aragon Witnet Discord voting and the new Vocdoni app, and I don't know if you want me to maybe touch on that, or do you want to touch on it? Oh
yeah, as I said, they are different interfaces to the Aragon Govern or Aragon V2 underlying protocol. And obviously, if you want something totally decentralized, totally self-contained and so on, the Vocdoni app or Aragon Voice is totally the way to go. And this is rather something for making it super easy to onboard new users and to have something that is really, really lightweight. And that's a main difference. But by decentralization, I mean because there's a huge point of centralization here, which is obviously Discord.
Yeah.
Which everyone in crypto seems to respect and approve and use anyway. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Last quick question, Alan. I know obviously we touched on what you could use it for. Do you have any company examples or use cases of the product so far?
We have released this the day before yesterday. So we are still trying it, and we are contacting a few dozen projects who we know that are using Aragon and Discord, and see what feedback we can get from them.
Brilliant, excellent. Well, Adam, thank you very much for coming along and presenting. It's a really exciting tool, and it's going to be really interesting to see what the community does with it, and what we can discover from use cases.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
I imagine lots of things we haven't even thought of yet, so it's quite exciting. But yeah, thanks for coming along, and thanks for presenting. And if we have any other questions, I'm sure we'll be sending them through. But it's really exciting.
Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thanks, Adam. And I won't set up another presentation, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to welcome Vyacheslav. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I can.
Excellent. Excellent. Welcome to the Aragon Community Call. We're going to be presenting the Aragon Core escrow, which is built by the team at Greet, and Vyacheslav is the co-founder. So I will give you the floor, Vyacheslav, and I'll let you start presenting. Exciting to see the demo.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, before going into Greet, let's see what is crypto ecosystems today. We see that there are 3 key stakeholders: creators, investors, and users. Who are currently creators? While still most of decentralized applications are built by centralized companies, we think that it will eventually change, and most dApps will be operated by the DAOs, who will have freelancers and team for product development. There is a bunch of DAOs already. So how do they operate today? Typically, some person creates a proposal, it's discussed on the forum, then it's voted by DAO community, and person or team starts working on proposal. After the delivery is done, they create on-chain vote to claim the reward from the DAO treasury. Alternative approach is prepayment of grant by the DAO before any work is started. Both solutions are trust-based. In first case, it's the service provider who takes the risks, and in second case, it's the DAO who takes the risk, because if delivery is not so good, the grant is wasted, and if something changed in a DAO, for instance, vote will fail, the service provider won't get the payment. So it's not really suited for larger development projects which require financing over longer periods of time. We think that one primitive lacking for transition to full-fledged DAO governance of decentralized application are easy to use trustless contracts, which should allow DAOs to scale the operations in a secure and effective way. What are generally trustless contracts? Currently there are two types of contracts. First one are legal contracts, which are governed by local jurisdiction of some country, and there is smart contracts, which are governed fully by code, and they are fully objective. So smart contracts are not usable for the cases which require subjective human reasoning, for instance, resolution of dispute based on human readable terms. So trustless contracts is something in between legal contracts and smart contracts, which uses human readable terms, but it uses decentralized court or subjective oracle for the arbitrage. Currently, Grid are developing tools for the DAOs and freelancers teams to make it easier for them to transact. And I'm ready for the demo. Should we start, Alex? Okay. Yeah, so here is Grid. You have a messenger interface where you have your personal onboarding link. So what I do, I copy my onboarding link and give it to freelancer or wherever person I wish to transact with, so he can connect with me. So he goes through login, authorization, all of this, and we have a discussion, like, I don't know, with this contract. I can make a logo for you. And then the other party can suggest contract terms like this. So it's possible to make contracts just as a simple payment with a single milestone, or it's possible to split payments into many milestones. So the delivery will be done in chunks. So let's take a look on this easiest case. Yeah, to make it simple, I will use Gnosis Safe as a DAO example because it's not to create votes and make it fast. So I take it as a DAO. This is my own address, and I'm kind of a delegate. Delegate is a user which has a limited mandate from the DAO to release the payment or make a dispute. It's fully optional, it's not required. But if you use Delegate, it will allow you to quickly react to changes in scope of the contract. So the payment token. Sorry. Okay, here is generate the contract as a PDF. For now, it's just a sample. It's not generated from my content. And it's stored on IPFS. So I request a signature. Like this. So the contract is published on chain, and the other party need to check the terms and confirm it. So I can review the contract, check the terms. So if I think that everything is fine, I'm signing it with my Ethereum wallet, like this. So the contract is signed. Yeah, as we're using DAO for this case, here is an instruction how the DAO should use this. So in case of Gnosis Safe, it's pretty easy. I just copy paste all this data.
While you're copying and pasting, I'll ask a couple of questions. What payment options are you going to support with the solution?
Generally, on smart contract level, any ERC20 compliant token can be used. But at start, we'll have stable coins, but other tokens will be easily added to UX when it's needed. Also, we support project type tokens like ANT, so it can be mixed. In scope of one milestone, you can make payment in different tokens. So, for instance, it's common that DAOs give a mixed reward. Some chunk is given in stablecoins, some chunk is given in project token, and we also support such cases.
Perfect. And do you want to make a quick comment on NOS and what you're doing currently?
Can you repeat it, please?
You're in NOS at the moment. Do you want to make a quick comment on that around sort of UX?
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is that here is kind of an instruction which need to be filled. I can't execute it directly because if we talk about DAO, it usually should be done through a voting interface. So if we talk about Aragon Govern, then we need to create a new vote on Aragon Govern, and it takes time. And to keep it simpler, I just use Gnosis Save because it can execute transaction out of the box.
And what will you be able to do? Obviously, if you've got users who you're sort of hiring to do projects, will there be the possibility of vesting?
Yeah, it won't be an initial release, but we definitely plan to support at least two kinds of vesting. One will be for linear vesting, when your token is released over some period linearly, and we also plan to support a monthly vesting, where the release will be done in a chunk, but it will be included at some later point, not in the initial release.
Perfect. And talking about two options there, will it potentially be possible to use maybe two different tokens from a payment perspective?
Absolutely. So it will be possible to use two tokens. As I said, we think that the most common case will be when users will use stablecoin and some project token. So we wish to support such cases for sure. Yeah, for some reason there is some problem with the Gnosis Save vote. So I will just switch it to direct smart contract interaction.
Okay.
So it's quicker, so I don't waste time on that. So all these actions are possible in Grid UX, but as we have this technical problem, it's kind of early alpha version, which we are using ourselves for now. So I will just do it once again.
No problem. Whilst you're running through that, other questions. Will it be possible to add amendments to the contract on chain?
Yeah, currently we support amendments for the contract terms, so it's not possible to amend amount of milestones in the payment token, but we plan to add support for this at some later point.
And then other questions. How can DAOs use such a system? Obviously, I think we've touched on it already, but obviously, if you're making decisions, do the DAOs not need to vote every time? How are you going to speed that process up?
Yeah, I have several ideas there. The first, but any user can put collateral to extend the period when it's delivered. So in case there is any problem, a user can extend the time period when automatic release is done, and DAO can do a dispute in the meanwhile, like take the vote and take the time they need for that. Okay. Yeah, let's try it again.
Yeah.
So here, silent fund milestone.
And you touched on disputes. I saw Aragon Court pop up there. What's going to be the process for handling disputes?
Yeah, we actually see two options. First, we'll start with Aragon Court only kind of dispute, but we also consider settlements done on the contract basis itself. So in such cases, for instance, parties can mutually agree that milestone will be split into chunks, like 30% goes to the pair and 70 to PE, and we plan to support these kind of settlements if both parties can agree the terms themselves without using subjective oracle. But for now, it will be only Aragon Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason it's a problem here, but I will just go to Aragon Court part.
Perfect.
To show how it works. Yeah, so the general idea is that a new dispute is created on this dashboard, and there will be several stages of how the dispute is run. This one I created just before this call, so I will just use it as a sample here. So first dispute is created, and then parties submit evidences in form of IPFS hashes. Yeah, the UX is not super fancy yet, but it will be fixed before the release. So here, guardians will be able to access IPFS links, which will help them to make the reasoning about the case. So they will based on that, they will make the votes. And based on the ruling, the funds will be either refunded to the pair or released for the PE. There will be also an appeal period where any party who doesn't agree with the dispute decision can make an appeal, put collateral, and the new set of guardians will be summoned to make a decision on that case. Yeah, so after it's done, decision is enacted. In Grid UX, you can claim the payment or get a refund if you're the payer.
The funds are whilst this whole process is going on and whilst the contract's being executed, the funds are being held in escrow. Is that correct?
Yeah. Currently, we use our own smart contract as an escrow, but potentially we also support third-party addresses, which can be used for different use cases. For instance, if there is a trusted trusted party like another application which can utilize those funds, we plan to support it over time.
Brilliant. And what are the plans for new features and improving? What's on the roadmap?
Yeah, so one of the first things which I already told is about vesting. So we plan to add at least two types of vesting, linear one and monthly based. We also plan to add settlements. So it will be possible for parties to mutually agree changing amounts of milestones, which are already published on chain, or agree kind of cancellation of milestone with uneven split of it. Yeah, that's our short-term roadmap, but we also wish to get feedback from community, what features do they think they need, and we are happy to implement them as well.
Absolutely. And anyone, obviously, questions still on YouTube and in the events channel, anyone else who has any other questions, feel free to send them through. But it's going to be a really useful product going forwards, I think, for a lot of DAOs. And you already touched on the delegate that you can delegate a user. How would a DAO go about delegating a user?
Can you elaborate what you mean?
So when you were first setting up the contract, you had a delegate. You could delegate a user who was had control. Obviously a DAO is that someone that a DAO would vote on, or who is that delegate and what's their sort of purpose?
Generally, it will be a person who is creating a contract himself. It's not required to be him, but I think in most of the cases it will be that person. And DAO need to confirm it with on-chain vault. And actually that thing which I have troubles when I was doing the demo, you see when I use this sign and fund milestone, this function can't be called by the delegate. It needs to be called directly from the DAO. And in that way, DAO confirms that they agree with the terms of the contract created with this delegate. And we also plan to support different mandates for the delegates. So it should be a kind of separate release disputes, maybe some other options if we get any request for that. Maybe different addresses for different delegates.
Excellent, brilliant. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to send them in. If you have anything when you're sort of having lunch or dinner tonight, put them in the events channel, and the team and Vichlav will come back and we'll try and answer as many as possible. But it's certainly going to be a really useful product for a lot of DAOs who are doing contracts. And thanks for coming in and presenting, Vichlav. It's been really interesting, and hopefully it gives the community a bit of an idea of other use cases as well, and things that they can do. So brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me for this call.
Not a problem. It was good to have you. Excellent. So I'm going to jump back in and make a few announcements. So you may have seen yesterday, I'll run through a couple. You may have seen yesterday, the Aragon Association is going to be sponsoring the Gitcoin grants program, the next two, GR10 and GR11. We're really pleased to be able to do this. It's a real privilege. And if you don't know, Gitcoin has given out over 22 million in grants since they launched in 2018. I'm not going to say too much because you'll have to come back to the next community call where we will hopefully have one of the Gitcoin team who's going to talk through the whole grants program. But I just wanted to bring it up so that everyone's aware that we're going to be doing some match funding for the new DGov category. And I think it's absolutely brilliant that we're able to do this. And it's really going to help with the mission to decentralize governance. So a brilliant program, and we're really pleased to be partnering with Gitcoin. If anyone has any questions or wants to know more about it, you can find it on the blog, or jump on the Discord channel and ask us about it. We'll be more than happy to talk about it. Next, other announcements that we have. You may have seen today already. If you're not subscribed, jump onto aragon.substack.com and subscribe to the monthly newsletters, where they'll be going out again at the start of every month, giving you all the news, everything that you may have missed on Twitter and on Discord. So we'll try and highlight the month's progress for you there. This is really exciting. The Aragon Ambassadors Program. So this is brand new, and we're just opening it up for early bird access. So this is going to be, you already see, so we've already had some of the community out promoting Aragon out and about. So we had Neil out in front of the US Capitol building. So this is going to be a specific program for people who want to run events for Aragon, who want to sort of be more involved in the project. So anyone who's interested in joining the Ambassadors Program in whatever function, whether that be being a moderator on Discord potentially, or running events in whatever country you're in, you can jump on there and apply for sort of early access. This is going to be a really exciting program. I'm looking forward to seeing all the different cities that we're going to be popping up in. So hopefully the link will be there, but if you can't find it, aragon.org/ambassadors. And so obviously, thank you to Neil. Great to see you out there. So that is just about it from us for today. It was brilliant to have Whitnet and Greet. I think they're both really exciting projects, and I think that the community should be able to do a lot with them both, and I'm excited to see where they go. So you don't miss us on the next call, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification before the next July the 7th. And we'll also be releasing some more content up on there as well. So if you don't want to miss any updates, make sure you subscribe there. Next call will be same time, 7th of July, and hopefully we'll have lots more news then as well. A few more releases. And if you're not on our Discord, Telegram, Reddit, you can see all the channels there. But I think from me, I just want to say thank you to the team, and thank you to obviously Anand and Vyacheslav for coming along and presenting, and running us through and giving us those demos. Hopefully you enjoyed them and gave you some ideas. And if you have any questions for them or for us, jump on the Discord or put a comment in YouTube, and we'll come back to you, and we'll see if we can answer them. But from me, wherever you are, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, evening or morning, and look forward to seeing you on July the 7th.